My dear students, I am going to focus a topic known as lacrimal apparatus. Now, what is lacrimal apparatus? Lacrimal apparatus is the system which is responsible for maintenance and production of tears, circulation of tears, both secretion and excretion. So it is system which maintains the physiology of the tears. Thus, it helps in tear production, secretion as well as excretion. So it is a system which helps in physiology of tear. So it has both secretory function as well as what is secretory function? It is responsible for secretion, production and secretion of tear from lacrimal gland, and it is also responsible for excretion of tear through nasolacrimal duct into the nose. So it may also both help in the secretion as well as production of the tear and excretion of tear from the through nasolacrimal duct. So what are the composition or structures of the lacrimal apparatus? Structure is like this. Suppose this is an eye. So this is the lacrimal gland. These are the ducts. This is the superior lacrimal punctum. Then inferior lacrimal punctum. This is the superior lacrimal canal. This is the inferior lacrimal canal. This is the lacrimal sac. This is the nasolacrimal duct, or also known as canal. So from here, tear will produce and poured into on the surface of the cornea conjunctiva, and it will be distributed equally over the surface by the blinking of the eyelid. Can you understand? So when we close the eyes, we blink with the blinking of the eyelids. Whatever tear produced and secreted from the lacrimal duct into on the surface of the conjunctiva, it will be spread equally and after its circulation equally on all the surface, it will be poured into by the opening of the superior lacrimal punctum and inferior lacrimal punctum, and through superior lacrimal canal, it will pour into the lacrimal sac, where it will be stored here. Tear will be stored here. Now, after storage, in case the accumulation is more, it will be flow through nasolacrimal duct and poured into the nose. So it will come out, the nasolacrimal duct is a lacrimal duct which is connected and poured into the nasal canal or nasal orifice. So ultimately, tear which is produced from the lacrimal gland, it will be circulated through the superior lacrimal canal and inferior lacrimal canal and stored in the lacrimal sac, and from there it will be entering into the nose or coming out through nose. So that is the circulation of tear. Now, what is happening is that if the amount of, even after entry of tear into the superior punctum, there is extra tear on it, it will come out, or it will in the form of tear that will come out during crying. So crying, we can see through it will come out by opening of the eyelids. It will come out in case the tear production is more as when a person or individual is crying or passing an emotional experience. In some situations, there will be overproduction of tear on the bulbar conjunctiva, and that's why the tear will overflow and it will come out in the form of tear that a person experiences during crying or undergoing emotional experience. Okay, so this is the tear physiology or how tear is produced. So again I am telling, tear is produced by a gland known as lacrimal gland that are connected via the eye orifice via ducts. Once the tear is produced, it poured into the bulbar conjunctiva and which is spread equally on the whole surface by blinking of the eyelids, and from there by opening of the superior lacrimal punctum and inferior lacrimal punctum, it enters into the superior lacrimal canal and inferior lacrimal canal and ultimately joins and poured into the lacrimal sac. Lacrimal sac is temporary sac which is responsible for accumulation of tear, and from lacrimal sac it will pass into the nasal orifice or into the nose by a duct known as nasolacrimal duct or nasolacrimal canal. Okay, so ultimately whatever tear is produced, it will come out through nose. So that is the main circulation and physiology of tear. Now, so what are the structures that form the lacrimal apparatus? The structures are, number one is lacrimal gland. Lacrimal gland. Then simple ducts. Then what anything is there? Then there is lacrimal punctum. Then anything is there? Yes. Then lacrimal canal. Then lacrimal sac. Then nasolacrimal duct. So these are the structures of lacrimal apparatus. Now what the nerve supply? The nerve supply of lacrimal gland is both via sympathetic or parasympathetic. Or I can say lacrimal apparatus is supplied both via sympathetic and parasympathetic, but most important is parasympathetic, which is supplied from facial nerve. Can you understand? So facial nerve is the most important parasympathetic supply to the lacrimal gland and it controls the secretion. So that's why parasympathetic nerve supply to the lacrimal gland or lacrimal apparatus is very much important and it is obtained from facial nerve. And what is the blood supply? Blood supply is via of the lacrimal gland is via lacrimal artery. And what is the venous supply? Venous supply is via superior ophthalmic vein. Okay, and what is the position of this lacrimal gland? It is present in the lacrimal fossa, which is a part of the frontal near the anterior cranial fossa or frontal lobe, part in the frontal area of the brain. This lacrimal fossa, in the lacrimal fossa or in the frontal lobe, this lacrimal gland is present and it is present lateral to an eyeball. It is present lateral to an eyeball present on the superior part, on the lateral part, on the superior lateral part of an eyeball or eye. It is present and superior lacrimal punctum and inferior lacrimal punctum. It is present on the inner part or medial part of an eyeball. It is present to the medial part of eyeball and next it forms the lacrimal sac and which is connected to the nose or poured into the nose via nasolacrimal duct or nasolacrimal canal. So these are the various structures which forms the lacrimal apparatus. Again I am telling lacrimal apparatus is supplied by two important nerve supply, parasympathetic as well as sympathetic. Parasympathetic is the most important and supplied by facial nerve, and that is responsible for production of tear in response to emotions, and blood supply of the lacrimal apparatus is via lacrimal artery. Venous blood supply is by superior ophthalmic vein. So these are the various nerve supply, blood supply and venous supply of the lacrimal apparatus and lacrimal gland. Now what is happening is that when the person experiences emotional experience or person undergoing some emotional experience or due to some any effect there is more tear production, the tear will be produced by the lacrimal gland and poured into the surface of the conjunctiva and it will be circulated by the blinking of the eye, and from there by the opening of the lacrimal punctum and passing through the lacrimal canal it enters into the lacrimal sac and it is poured into the nasolacrimal duct and ultimately it will come out through the nose. Extra tear fluid has to come out through the nose. But in case there is overproduction of tear, what will happen? It will overflow the anterior surface of the conjunctiva and cornea, and it will come out through the eyes. Can you understand? Or it will overflow through the punctum, or it may come out through the overflowing of the anterior surface of eye. Can you understand? So that time we can visualize the tear coming out as the person cries or undergoing emotional experience. Okay, so this is the physiology or dynamics of the tear. Now you have to know something applied aspects. What are the applied aspects of lacrimal apparatus? You should know something about a term known as dry eye syndrome. Dry eye syndrome. What is dry eye syndrome? It is also known as DES or keratoconjunctivitis. So it is called keratoconjunctivitis sicca or dry eye syndrome. Here it occurs because of defect in the tear production by the lacrimal gland, and that's why the person will not experience any tear production. So the anterior surface of the cornea or the conjunctiva will not be moisturized, and the eye or anterior surface of the eye will be very dry, and with time it leads to damage. The kerato means cornea and conjunctiva means conjunctiva, all of you know. So it leads to inflammation and dry eye, and leading to inflammation and infection of the keratoconjunctivitis of the eye, and finally it may lead to blindness if you don't treat it with artificial tear. So again I am telling, dry eye syndrome or keratoconjunctivitis sicca is an applied aspect. If you know, it is because of less production of tear or lack of production of tear by the lacrimal gland, and that's why the anterior surface of the eye, that is conjunctiva and cornea, is not moisturized and become very much dry, and they are more prone to infection, inflammation, leading to inflammation of cornea and conjunctivitis, and we together known as keratoconjunctivitis sicca. And if you don't treat this condition regularly with artificial tear, it may lead to blindness also. So that is one of the important applied aspect of tear. Now, what is the function of tear? Tear also is responsible for moisturizing the eyeball, especially anterior surface of the eyeball, and it also contains sodium chloride and prevents chance of infection. It also helps in repulsion of any foreign particles, foreign virus, bacteria, foreign antigen, and most important thing also, it also helps a person cleaning of the eye, anterior surface of eye, and at the same time it also helps the person to manifest one's emotional experience. So these are the various functions of tear and lacrimal apparatus. Okay, thank you very much.